if he's in trouble, I think. Yeah, okay, and we are underway as round
5 is getting started, and we are following the game between Nepo and Fabi, and we're going to have our reserve game, the game of MVL and Ray Robson, as we've got this bishop b5 check, anti-Najdorf if you want, trading, and then we saw a very early e5. So it looks like a very close position is what we've got here, Tanya.
It also looks like a bit like copycat chess. Had Black just put that knight on f6.
the pawns, and they're very symmetrical.
Yes.
We've had a trade of pieces, the light squared bishop, with very symmetrical pawn structure there. So there are no d4, d5 breaks. And very often in this, it's about the breaks in the flank in the middle game.
Exactly.
Yes. Which side gets in an f4?
Or an f5 or a b4 break on the queen side.
Exactly, and this is a very cagey setup, I must say. Bishop e7 to d8. Making room for the knight on e7, just as you said, so that the knight doesn't go to f6 and conflict out the flanks. Now you've got to play b4 because you're not playing f4 anytime soon.
I think we're going to see both the breaks on the board. Black's going to go for the f5 kingside break, while Nepo has managed to get in a play on the queen side.
With the b4.
Fabi's got to be thinking about f5 right now. He doesn't go for it.
Surprisingly enough, no, I was going to support you wholeheartedly. He played in the move knight g6. Now, if I'm in Nepo's shoes, I'm thinking knight d5, bishop e3, and blasting open the b file with the move b4 takes c5. So first he starts with bishop e3, saying, please do me a solid trade.
Not going to do it, yes?
Not going to do it. b7, b6. And because the queen is undefended, this move queen a4 is more than annoying, I'm about to say. The knight is, again, eyeballing. You never want to fall for knight d5 and queen takes c6.
It's on the board. It's on the board. F5 has arrived, and that means it's going to be a lot of fun. So it's all about who gets to which side first. Black clearly eyeing the king side, while Yan has got all his pieces, including that knight, which has just gone to d2, can land on e4. The other knight gets on d5, is looking for play on the queen side. But I agree with you, Yas. It just feels like White's pieces
are better.
Are more ready, are readier to strike.
Readier to strike. Nice. Love it. Knight e4. And again, knight will come to d5 next. And this knight on g6 is looking a little forlorn. One of the things I would try to do if I was about to say is if I was white, I would be trying to trade my bishops for one of the knights, because I'm thinking that these knights on d5 and e4 will be very well placed, whereas this bishop on d8, as you notice, doesn't really have a good square. Please, Tanya.
Absolutely. The one threat that you have to watch out for is a move like f3 for Black.
Clear.
That's the dream. I really want to get f3, especially considering it's Blitz, and I'm just saying I'm coming for your king. f3,
Exactly.
queen g4, or queen h3, and starting to checkmate you. So
Exactly.
is this the moment for Yan to actually stop that forever with a move like f3 himself, and he does it?
Yes. The answer is yes.
Fair. Short
You're
and
right.
sweet and precise.
Exactly. But you are very right. You do not want to allow your opponent the opportunity to play f3. Yan, put the kibosh on that idea.
In the end.
D4 check.
And king comes. Oh, there's a queen hanging on a4.
Correct.
Oh my goodness! Did
Yes.
Nepo miss this?
Yes, he did.
Yes. Can you just show the idea that we're
Well,
talking
Rook
about?
takes f3, rook takes f3, king takes f3. Thank you for your rook.
Choose your check.
Yes, check, and queen takes a4, and that wins the game for Fabi. So there was a miss, and we did see the head shake there.
Wow, rook h1, a huge blunder by Jan Nepomniachtchi in a position that he was completely in control.
So he's dropped his f3 pawn with that move, rook h1.
That's a big
On the
pawn
other
to drop.
hand, it's still not so easy.
Easy because white's
reasonable
compensation.
drawing.
Now you just offer a queen trade, no? Now any endgame will be better for me if I just go knight e5.
Yeah, the extra pawn is certainly
Better for you. The problem is, again, that the role of the bishop is such a passive one that it's going to be very hard to convert. Jan is bearing down. Again, the clock times?
The clock time's
A minute and a
currently
half, I think, against maybe 47 seconds.
Yes,
47
under a minute
seconds.
for Fabi there. And
h5 on the board.
also, I think knight e5 would have been a mistake because the knight from f2 jumps to e4 at the end, and you've
After
got
the
problems
trades.
on d6. Yes.
Correct. Yes, exactly. And we've been seeing that once the knight does land on e4, that pawn on d6 is definitely a weakness. Now that with the move h5, he is
kind of intimating that, you know, the kings
four. Maybe Jan would be happy to trade queens. Peter, is this enough compensation? You're not happy you blundered your pawn.
I wanted to even offer a very controversial opinion and say that in practical terms it's maybe more fun to play with white because you have the more knights plus queen.
Okay.
But of course black is objectively better. The question is how much.
Exactly.
I would suspect this should actually be enough to make a draw with best play.
By the way, GH,
With best play
no queen g4 by Jan. He's ready to play for the attack
I'm
himself.
liking black a lot. I mean, I just feels as if white's king is in the
Whoa,
open.
whoa, pay attention. There is a knight f6 check citing don't even think about playing bishop e1.
Just comes back to d8.
Can we take on c5 twice?
Whoa.
Yes.
So you mean
By the
you
way,
start pawn takes pawn and then you jump in with the knight.
Our tournament leader, MVL, is on a roll as he takes down Ray Robson.
He does, and now can you, Peter's idea of knight takes pawn
Yes. Yes, knight takes, pawn takes, queen takes
here on
e5.
the board. And then you've got a bunch of checks, but probably nothing more than that then, because I'm definitely liking the queen and the knight, and maybe black has to find a way to
I think it's time to give a perpetual.
give it perpetual and just draw somehow.
If I go king h2, I think the perpet. Whereas if I go king h1 and invite the bishop to join with gain of tempo, that's dangerous.
Wow.
But he's,
This is a
Playing with
very,
fire. That
very interesting decision to
Yeah.
my eye.
let's say,
That was
courageous.
once-
Yeah, bishop g5 is a draw,
Too
so
brave.
I think Fabio in 15 seconds here just takes this draw. I don't think you fool around against queen and knight now that you're no longer a pawn up.
And
Exactly.
that queen and knight, especially at the center of the board, give white one
Well,
move.
Fabio
look at
disagrees.
this. Let's fool
F2.
around. Let's dance.
He wants to go queen f2, king to g4, so then there'll be no checks at all.
I think this was a very, very risky decision by Fabi.
Jan is playing for the win here.
By the way, the breaking result,
Whoa,
G7,
and yeah, and,
G6.
Jan leans in there because
Like what?
he's being given a move to start giving checks. But the bishop on h4 controls all of the important checking squares. So,
Well,
yeah.
hold on. There was
Oh
a
my
queen
God.
a7 check.
Bishop
and
g3. Ah, yeah. Whoa.
It's king of the hill for Jan Nepomniachtchi. Is the king going to win the game eventually? We've been singing praises of the queen and the knight, but the king just wants to go and collect all the pawns.
And
I really don't like what Fabio. He should have taken that perpetual.
Oh,
And did you see the panic on Fabi with
yes.
just 1 second on the clock?
Queen
there?
e5 check is, yeah, I don't know. Queen e5 check seems winning.
Your bishop is hanging. Be careful, Fabi.
I think we can take.
Well,
Yeah.
just
I
a
think we
second.
can take everything and take on c5 and win that position.
I think he's going for it, but then the g pawn.
No, my king is in the square.
We're in the
Yes, you've
square,
got to
yeah.
waste a move with your.
And
Now d4, d5, and we're
E5.
just faster.
And that's it. That's
Fabi's
game.
about to lose the game.
Absolutely, that's game over.
The d pawn just marches, and that's